I think the thing that pissed me off the most was I put that DVD in, and it had like your options, play the movie, scene selection, and then there was like the foreword.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, I'll watch the foreword and see what he has to say. And then he says all that like, okay,
and then
whatever.
You watch the movie.
And then you go press play on the movie, and it does it again. And I have to watch it again.
You and I are the same person, because I had the same response. I was like, of course I want to watch the forward. I would love to watch the forward and hear what he has to say.
You gave me the option. I chose it. Why are you forcing it on me?
And I watched it and was like, well, that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And then like, let's just watch the movie. And then I pushed the movie and I was like, well, why did you ask?
Yeah.
Why is that even an option? So there is no option.
Yeah,
Why am I getting an option?
I'm going to do it. If you're going to make me do it anyways.
Yeah, but what brings you dudes here?
Listen, see, Kermit here, he was living in the swamp,
Fozzie.
and then a fisherman came along.
Fozzie, you can't tell him the whole story. You'll bore the audience.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast, coming at you from the Slice on Oak Studios. I'm Mayor Dave Badeaux, the city of Brainerd. With me, as always, is my brother.
I'm not the Messiah!
It goes without saying, though.
I think so.
Yeah. Gabriel Johnson, what say ye?
Dave, I'm wondering how you're doing. I love the hat.
I'm doing well.
I want to draw attention to the hat that draws attention to itself.
Yeah, Scott said the hat's a bit much.
All I said was, that's a loud hat.
A loud hat. I said everything I do is loud, Scott. Hey, speaking of loud, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Be Kind Rewind. 1979, part 2. So, Be Kind Rewind, episodes of the podcast in which we take a year, go back and consumed all of the stuff. 1979 was pretty fun. We had Jesse on last week. Talked about all the pop culture, talked about all the TV, talked about all that stuff. This is the movies of 1979, and we have actually been talking about this one for a while. I think we've been kind of excited for 1979.
Yes.
Thoughts on 1979 before we get started?
Movies?
Movies.
There's a lot of good movies that year.
There was a lot of good movies. So we've selected 4. Should we go through what we've selected?
Yes.
We have selected The Muppet Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Life of Brian, Alien, and The Warriors. So we'll be talking about them in that order. You can skip ahead if you don't have an interest in certain things. And if you get to the end and you want to skip the last one, i.e. Gabe, you can go ahead and do so too. But let's go ahead and get started real fast and just talk about The Muppet Movie.
Okay.
Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free.
Gabe, I think you were the one that put this on the selection.
Yeah, absolutely love Jim Henson.
Yes.
Getting there is half the fun. Come share it with me.
I love the Muppets. And, getting into this movie, watching this movie and reading about the production of it and just the puppeteering of it all.
Yeah.
And how they did it, like especially the big one at the end where like all 117 Muppets are involved.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. It's interesting stuff. And hilarious. The Muppets hold up to this day.
A bear in his natural habitat. A Studebaker.
I will say the Muppets do hold up. I did not get to the end of this movie because as it started, my kids were all in. Like I was flipping through stuff and they were like, oh, the Muppets, let's watch the Muppets. I was like, all right, let's watch the Muppets. Started the Muppets, loved the Muppets. We were all very well engaged watching the Muppets.
Yep.
Hour and 10, they lost my kids. My kids moved on from the Muppets and it just ended up getting shut off. So I did not get to the very end of the movie this time.
But you saw the beginning.
I did see the beginning.
And you would have to appreciate the part where Kermit, first time in cinematic history, as a puppet, is riding a bicycle by himself.
Yeah, what the hell?
Cinematic history. That, to me, the most disturbing part of any Muppets production is when their feet are doing things. The dancing, the walking. Anytime that the Muppets have legs that are moving, you got to dial me out. Very effective, though, on the bicycle.
Very effective. Well, until he ran into the road construction equipment.
Yes, but that's just a classic gag.
A classic gag. So it's dangerous to build a road in the middle of a street.
I was surprised the Muppet, it definitely holds up. So there's been a couple different, puppet type things going on at this time. The Muppet Show, I actually went back and looked, started in 1976. Mm-hmm. So this had been going on for about 3 years at that point, and maybe 2 years by the time they start making the actual movie. Right. But so successful that they're like, yes, we need to make a full production of this. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that's very interesting about movies in particular is like TV and stuff, like you just like, all right, we're going to get by. We just, kind of slap some paint on that wall and call it a day. Then you give somebody a budget and they're like, what could we do? Mm-hmm. And there's many instances in this movie where you're just like, this is just people with a lot of money going, could we do it? I think we can.
Let's try it. Let's build a 60-foot tall monster head.
Yes. 60 feet. Animal head.
Yes.
They didn't want to use like a scale replica.
Like miniatures.
To have the regular size animal head.
Yes.
They wanted the full-size head on the full-size set.
Do you want to know what's funny about that? Is I just assumed it was superimposed. I didn't even know that it was a full-size head. So what a waste of fucking time.
I wonder where that is nowadays.
Oh, that's gone. Nothing ever. Actually,
something that big
and
belongs in a museum.
And I will say that about Jim Henson. Jim Henson definitely more than most companies. They held on to their stuff a lot more than most places did. You can see a lot of their things if they held up. Like you go back and look at like 1991, the Turtles movie.
Yeah.
Like latex rubber just doesn't last. It just slowly, all the water evaporates from it, cracks and disintegrates.
Yep.
So a lot of Muppet stuff, but they have like some of the original Kermits and everything. So yeah, that head might be somewhere.
I bet it is.
But 60 feet's pretty big.
That's big storage space.
And to be fair, you can make a lot of Muppets out of all that material.
It's a lot of animals.
So it's probably been every animal since then has been made from the material.
Yeah.
Fun fact, folks.
I got a couple fun facts on the puppeteering of it all.
Let's go.
The iconic intro shot.
Yes.
Where they come over the woods down into the swamp. And
super cool. I loved that.
Yes.
Kermit's sitting there playing his banjo, singing the
Rainbow Connection.
Yeah. Great song. Classic song.
Classic song. I got a tidbit on that.
Well, they were puppeteering him
Yes.
in the swamp. Took all day to shoot that.
Yes.
Jim Henson sat in a barrel in the water of a swamp all day long just to get the intro shot taken care of.
This is what I'm talking about, though. Completely unnecessary. 100% unnecessary. Because I was actually aware of that. I had seen something about that previous in life. And so as I was watching it, I was like, I'm going to see if you can, how necessary was it for him to be completely submerged?
Not necessary.
Not necessary at all.
There's like 4 feet of stones there.
He's got a log. And like there are shots where it is cool because there's like the reflection, you can see Kermit's reflection in the water. And it is very cinematic. Mm-hmm. But the amount of time and effort and money that was spent to just not have a dude with his hand up the frog's ass, pretty excessive.
But nobody else can do that.
No, well, that's exactly
Jim was pretty protective of Kermit the Frog.
Yes. But in a barrel, and they had to pump in air for it and everything because it was literally under the water. Can we? Yes. Should we?
We can.
We did. My favorite puppeteering fact of the movie is Fozzie Bear driving around the Studebaker.
Okay.
So you have Fozzie, you have Kermit, they pick up Gonzo and the chicken. The puppeteers were all laying on the floor under the puppets. Somebody had to drive the car. The hood ornament is missing on the front of the car.
Oh.
There's a camera.
Jim Henson is laying in there.
No. It's a camera. It was a remote-controlled car.
I figured so much.
They put a little person in the trunk with a remote control and a television camera looking out the camera to control the car.
Unbelievable.
Why in the car?
Yeah.
Just be off.
You could be off. Yeah, you could be off screen.
Well,
you could be walking behind it.
They put him in the trunk.
Why?
Again,
because you can.
We can. Jim Henson, because we can. I figured it was remote control because it's got some movement to it that you're like, okay, that's remote controlled. Like because basically how you do that is you just put pulleys and stuff in there, or like little motors that'll just push and pull on the actual steering wheel or on the pedal and stuff. And so you can tell there's a little bit of jittery weirdness to it. But never in my life would I have envisioned that we had a little person in the trunk.
Why? So it's totally unnecessary.
And because we can.
Well, and that's a question though then, because everyone else is a puppeteer. Technically, then he's a puppeteer of the Studebaker. So did he get credit for playing the Studebaker?
Oh,
Should have.
Good question. Definitely deserved. Definitely earned.
Deserved. So, fun fact to go back to the Rainbow Connection, right? Very good song. Actually did well in the charts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is written by one Paul Williams.
Who is?
Well, you would know him as a little guy named Little Enos.
Because he's thirsty, dummy.
From Smokey and the Bandits.
Oh, no. I knew I read something about that in the last
Career
week.
peaking. Career peaking.
No, actually, he's well known. He's written a lot of songs, worked with a lot of people. I remember him from, I think it's 2014. He goes up to accept the Grammy for Daft Punk for their album because it won Album of the Year. And of course, they're not going to speak. So they had him come up. He wrote a couple songs on there, I believe, on the album. But I was like, hey, let's Little Enos.
Nice.
Also wrote Rainbow Connection. So
Great song.
yeah. Let's go super quick. Just finish up the Muppets. Holds up. I found two things interesting about it. The jokes are mainly visual and audio gags, which I found very fun. The fork in the road.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. I find that stupid type of comedy fun. The Hare Krishna thing coming
it's
up.
a bit now.
Oh God, it was so good though, because it like he starts off right away, and it's such a. I didn't realize that Kermit was just a smartass.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize like that he was that much of a deadpan smartass.
Just looks at the camera. Oh, now it's a bit.
Well, there's one point where it's actually on the sign when they go to the church where the Electric Mayhem are. On the sign, it says the same quote. Have you tried Hare Krishna? So I found that stuff very funny. The other thing too that I didn't remember it being as much of a musical as it is. And so then, right when it got done, we went back and turned on the Muppet Show, starting back episode 1, and watched more of it than I would like to admit. We just kind of kept it on, and it just kept going.
I think you could just watch through that.
It just kept going, right? There was never a point where you're like, we need to shut this off. First bit on the Muppet Show, Phenomena. Wow.
Classic.
You started off with that.
That's been like one of my favorite songs since I was 3.
Yes, yeah. It just held on forever. And then
Cake does a great cover of it.
Yeah, and then secondary to that was the Muppet Show is a lot of it's basically a musical. The Muppet Show. I was surprised by that. It's mostly music videos with puppets. So yeah. Scott, final take on the Muppets.
I prefer Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, Muppet Treasure Island. First of all, Tim Curry, always Tim Curry. Never not Tim Curry, right? I think Muppet Treasure Island is the best. Is it Muppets Take Manhattan or Muppets, whatever the Manhattan one? Because you got Rizzo the Rat, which is pretty fun.
Rizzo the Rat does not exist anymore.
Oh, he's gone?
The person who played Rizzo the Rat got like too big of a head or something, and like wanted to be like, I'm Rizzo, you can't have Rizzo without me. And they were like, well, fine, then we don't have Rizzo, get the fuck out.
That's like Ragnar from the Vikings. Remember, they used to have the guy that used to go to the Vikings game, and he's like, I am the Vikings. And they're like,
we're not going to pay you anymore.
Well, they were, I don't think they were. He was actually getting paid, yes.
What was he just to ride his Harley in before the game?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe.
But he wanted a lot more money. And the funny one is like the Jets have, it was like Benny the Jet or something like that. It was like some dude that just wears a construction hat and goes to the Jets games and then thought the Jets should make him a thing. And they're like, no, you're a dude in the stands, man.
Your season tickets are revoked. We'll sell them to someone else.
So they Rizzoed the Rat that way, huh?
Yep.
Super weird.
He is no more.
Super weird that Rizzo the Rat is a reference to, what is it? Is it
The Girl from Greece?
No, what is it? It's not Urban Cowboy. What is it called? It's Midnight Cowboy.
Okay.
Which is not a children's movie. Not in any way a children's movie.
That's a nice thing about the Muppets is a lot of their jokes play both audiences.
Yeah.
And that's how you make a good family film that everybody can laugh at a joke.
Yeah, it's more adult oriented than you would think. You know, now I think they've kind of swayed away from that, but like back then, they didn't shy away from being a little bit, not necessarily risque, but there was multiple times in the movie where I was just like, that's not a joke for kids at all.
It would have been OG like Adult Swim.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It is, looks like it's for kids, but is adult humor.
Yeah, it's really just more of what do you call that? I totally lost the word.
Je ne sais quoi.
That's not what I'm looking for, but I'll
Fancy.
accept it. Yeah, I'll accept it. Sounds right. All right. Final thoughts on the Muppets?
The very first time the Muppets were in the real world. The Muppet Show was always just in the Muppet universe.
Okay.
So this is where they introduced them to the human world. Say, can we even do this to make all these movies that you guys think are better?
Yeah.
This is where they introduced it and said, okay, it works. It plays. We can do it.
I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It's
great movie.
It's a great movie. It's perfectly acceptable in even the Muppet realm. Eventually, you got to pirates, which are always better. Pirates are always better. I actually think Muppet Treasure Island might be the best version of Treasure Island.
I think you're probably right.
And Treasure Island's a classic. All right, let's move on from that into the second movie from 1979, kind of staying in the same realm. And this is Monty Python, Life of Brian.
No puppets.
No puppets. But this is one that I actually have consumed far less in terms of Monty Python stuff than any of their other stuff. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I actually really like it. And going back and watching it, I was like, God damn, Monty Python, it's so funny. But this one here is kind of just, it's never one that I just see and click on.
Right.
Whereas their other stuff I constantly am clicking on.
Very dialogue heavy.
Very well, that's just who they are. Yeah.
But there's not like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. They have the castle scene where he comes in and just attacks everybody, and it's just slapstick.
Yeah, and the coconuts. Yeah.
Whereas this is just
He kills everybody, then makes amends right away.
yeah.
I think you are right. Yeah, this is more so them just standing there having bits back and forth.
Right.
Like they're just sitting in the Coliseum having a conversation.
It is most from the very beginning. The very beginning is them arguing about what Jesus is saying because they can't hear what he's saying.
That guy's talking and we don't know what he's saying.
What is he saying?
So we're talking about what he's talking about.
Can you speak up?
Don't talk to my wife that way. Very good. I laughed very hard on multiple occasions within it. Even just the beginning when, the wise men are coming to,
Go to the wrong house.
They go to the wrong manger to find baby Jesus, and they find Brian. Maybe the first instance of what is myrrh?
Yeah.
That's just a staple now, right? Everybody's done the what is
what
myrrh.
is that? Oh, gold. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you out now.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot for the gold and frankincense. But don't worry too much about the myrrh next time, all right?
Fantastic movie.
Yes.
Trying to kick the Romans out of the Holy Land, despite the Romans having brought them peace, agriculture,
the
security, the aqueducts,
sanitation.
But we hate them.
What have they ever done for us? Except for this.
Okay,
this.
besides all. Fantastic. My favorite part, though, is the closing sequence when they're crucifying everybody up on the hill, and they sing "Always Look at the Bright Side of Life."
Yes.
Fantastic song. Go to in my car when we're leaving a game after my kids lose a game.
Oh.
And they're all pissed off at how stupid the refs are.
Yeah.
How much the other team was cheating.
Yeah. Always.
Whatever. It's just put this on and then everybody's smiling right away.
Do they sing along?
They sing their favorite part is life's
That's
a piece of shit when you look at it.
You're a sucker for a big ending number. Muppets end this. Those your two favorite things. Like, there's all the Muppets. There's all the guys on the crosses kicking. I found that part so interesting because, just looking at how you have to film it. So they got the crosses, and then they've got their little stand that they're standing on. And I just love stuff like that. Just tiny little details of, okay, but yeah, we actually have to film this now.
Right.
Right. So here's your little thing that you stand on all day while we do this one long music number over and over and over. But that had to have been grueling because they're actually up in the air. You know, they went all out on the cross.
Yeah. I like the guard there. He looks up at him and says, "Anybody who doesn't want to be crucified, raise your hands."
They're all tied up.
And they're all like, and he's like, "Oh, all right."
Very well done.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The bits about there aren't any women here, are there?
Yeah.
That one always gets a laugh out of me.
Who threw that? She did.
I got about halfway through and I'm like, oh, I can watch this with my boys.
And then he saw his dick.
And then full frontal nudity from both men and women. Oh, cancel that.
The boys will love that. Okay. Favorite line from the movie? Go.
Probably what I just said.
Okay. Well,
That or just the haggling scene in general.
sure.
Oh, you have to haggle.
I've always liked the rock, the stones when there's a stone vendor and he's like, oh, I'll just pick some up when I get there. He's like, oh, it's got all these different. Okay, all right, I'll take one of the sharp ones. A bag of rubble. Very clever. I think what's interesting about this movie in particular is we did not talk about Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. I watch it probably once a year. And it's one that you just kind of, now if you've consumed it so many times, you just put it on and just, listen to them with their ridiculousness.
Yes.
But Monty Python is something that completely was left of center from everything that was happening in terms of comedy that was out there. It was so bizarrely interesting. And you look at the way, specifically, the Holy Grail is shot. It's like guerrilla filming, right? They went out there and shot this, and it's pretty well done, but you can tell we just went out.
It's just a few dudes having fun with some good ideas. Yeah.
It reminds me of like Broken Lizard later on. Like Broken Lizard feels very similar to the same type of scenario where like a group of guys that are really funny do their thing for comedy, then get into doing film and then just kind of stick together doing their type of shtick. But that first film that you know of, like Super Troopers, they just went and made it, right? It's crazy that you can just get away with stuff like that. And of course, Super Troopers is not the first film that Broken Lizard did. But this movie is quite a step up in quality from Holy Grail.
You think so?
I think so.
Maybe, but I think Holy Grail tried to do a whole heck of a lot more.
Sure.
Like these guys were just sitting around the Coliseum arguing if men could have babies or not.
Well, hold on now. The reason you do that, though, is because you make Monty Python and the Holy Grail and you realize all that stuff is really hard to shoot.
Yep.
What's not hard to shoot is 4 guys sitting around arguing about anything.
Yep.
That's not hard. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, same thing, right? Why do they have a bar? Because they needed a place to go argue during the day. Why they just need extra time during the day to do things. It's kind of the same concept here. It's like the set pieces is all the Roman type stuff, but most of it is just low key things until you get to an instance like the graffiti, right?
Yes.
That's I was pretty impressed by the graffiti.
They had to paint a whole wall.
It was a whole. That was a lot. I was like, this is legit. This is legit. Now, granted, it's probably not a whole wall. It's probably just a matte painting, but
Yeah.
I thought quality wise a big step up. Same bits, same shtick. Literally some of the same characters almost. But I don't know. I enjoy it.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
When it first started, they always have that art style for their credits and stuff.
Yes. Who is that? I forget.
I don't know.
It's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably Terry Gilliam.
I think you're right.
But so the credits are coming, and one of the big names that flashed up was George Harrison. And I was like,
yes.
that George Harrison? And I looked it up, and this movie only got made because George Harrison started his own studio
To make it.
produce it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so he put the money up front
He
for
put
it.
all the money up just because he really wanted to see the movie. I think Terry, one of them called it like the most expensive movie ticket of all time.
Yes,
He
yes.
literally just spent this movie so that they could make this movie and he would watch it.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
Good on George.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Terry Gilliam, by the way, that does all the animation stuff. So,
Okay.
which is, again, impressive, super impressive. It's his own little style and stuff, but very impressive. If for anyone who's ever done any animation is so time consuming and so difficult.
Right.
So, yeah, I remembered seeing George Harrison. I love that you actually followed up on it because I made a note to myself to follow up on it and then
It was
never
the
did.
first thing I did.
Yeah.
The credits rolled and I was like, George Harrison, what? And I looked it up and I was like, holy shit. He
Bought
made
the
the
whole
movie.
movie so he could watch it. That's a good move. That's a power move.
It
I
should have
like
been
it.
George Harrison Presents.
Right. But the original backer of the movie backed out
Oh.
due to blasphemy. They wouldn't produce the movie because it was blasphemous.
They found the one Christian in Hollywood.
Well, this is England.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Right?
Right? Because the whole movie is blasphemy, right? It's making fun of
Yeah, it's
religion.
literally it's
How
literally they're
stupid
worshiping
we are to
another
just-
god.
Yeah. And we'll just follow anybody and listen to what they say because people are stupid.
Final thoughts.
Awesome.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie, and you have to kind of like Monty Python style,
Right.
Because it is this one especially very dialogue heavy, right? It's kind of like watching a Tarantino movie, right? They're two dudes walking, talking about something. The humor comes from that. Or great example being The Big Lebowski, right? The Big Lebowski is just people sitting, having conversations.
Yep. Sitting in a bowling alley.
Yep.
Yapping.
In a funeral home, in a car. It's literally just people sitting, talking about something. But if you like dialogue,
You just named some of my favorite movies.
Yes. What I was getting at is if you like that stuff, this is probably peak. Because we were even before we got started, it was like, hey, what's your favorite line, right? Look up your favorite line. And you guys basically just started repeating every line from the movie.
Every line from the movie.
But you have to read them because most of them are not something that you just pull off the top of your head. It's a full bit of dialogue. So
8-year-olds, dude.
8-year-olds, dude. So we put up a thing on the internet that I just said, like, what's your favorite line that you use all the time? And I wanted to put 8-year-olds, dude. I was like, there's way too much context to that. You got to explain way too much. You got to explain way too much about what you actually mean by that. I'm not going to do that one. All right, let's move on. We're going to do Alien next.
Yes.
So this one I did consume a lot of.
Speaking of unique art styles.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the guy that
Giger. H.R. Giger.
Yeah.
H.R. Giger is one that when we were in art class, because for those that don't know, all I did in high school was art. I think I had art class from like 7:30 in the morning till like lunch, and then lunch was an open hour that I had. I think I was like a art aide or something like that for like the art teacher. So I never left the art room from like 7:30 in the morning till like 1:30 in the afternoon. And then my day was done and I just left. So that's all I did. But those art kids, when they discovered H.R. Giger and when they were 16, 17 years old, and it's just a bunch of penises. Just, wow, this is incredible. And then you're like, oh, that's like
also phallic.
that looks like the Alien or the movie Alien. Like, oh yeah, everything in the movie Alien is just penises.
So was he like the set designer, artistic director?
So everything is based off of that. Yeah, he is the art director, if you will, created all of the basic stuff.
So does he build anything, or is it just
No.
illustrations? They
No.
take his illustrations and
They take his illustrations and actually
So I gave a lot of credit to Ridley Scott watching. It was very Ridley Scott-esque. Beautiful sets.
Yes.
But shot in a manner that really appreciates them.
Yeah, Ridley Scott is interesting. And actually, I was listening to the commentary, and we'll talk about that because, Scott, you were listening to the commentary as well. Ridley Scott took Giger's book that he had with all of his drawings and stuff in it and just basically like selected things that he liked. And then Giger came in and like tweaked more things to make everything cohesive, if you will. But like even like the ship, he's like, oh, I like that, and it's not even a ship. It was just a shape in one of the drawings or paintings that he had, and he's like, I like that. That became the ship then.
Right.
So there's a lot of that stuff.
Can you make that penis but bigger?
Well, this one was a croissant.
Yes, a croissant. And
I suppose it was.
and he says it just like that, a croissant. But Giger's bizarre. It's very weird. One of the strangest artists out there, and it just worked so well for something that then becomes otherworldly.
Yeah.
Take on the film.
Awesome movie.
Yes.
I tried to watch it with my daughter.
Yep.
She likes the horror movies,
That's much, dude.
but he even says in the commentary that the studio complained that
Yes.
the first 45 minutes nothing happens.
No, for the first half hour, they do nothing.
They're all just waking up and talking, and like you're kind of getting to know the crew or whatever.
That's my complaint. Is
Yeah?
Ridley Scott kind of has a tendency to just bore the shit out of you. And then make some really exciting fucking scenes right after that.
Yeah.
But it's boring. So he did the same in Gladiator, did the same in Blade Runner, just boring. Oh, really fucking awesome.
He's building a world, and in this is maybe my favorite genre, potentially second to ski movies from the 80s. But I said this when we started to watch it again. I've seen this movie so many times. It is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I love movies about isolation in space because it's you're trapped.
There's isolation
And
anywhere.
there's only 7 of us.
Yes, but of all the places to be isolated, there's nowhere to go. Where are you going to go? There's nothing to do or go or so. This notion that you're floating through space, that you've woke up early and now have to figure out what's going on. I love that about this movie. I get that people are like, "Come on, let's do something," but the whole thing is you are introduced to what's happening in the same pace that they are introduced to it.
Right.
So they wake up, aren't even aware that they're not where they're supposed to be. They're just like, oh, we must be back on Earth. They get up, they immediately get something to eat, have breakfast essentially. And then by the time they get to the computers, they're like, all right, let's find out, how much time we got before we're going to come onto Earth.
Yeah.
And then, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Turns out the company screwed us.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
It's a fantastic movie. I'm not going to take anything away from it. Absolutely love it. But I'm going to say James Cameron and David Fincher both did a better job making alien movies.
You need to rewatch Alien 3 because David Fincher, he has the most iconic image of Alien, other than the chest, the guy ripping out the chest, but the tongue or the face coming up to her face.
Yep, the little face to the face. Yeah.
The rest of the movie is okay.
Okay, I'll have to rewatch.
Okay.
But it seemed like there was more action. This one had
Way more.
an alien that showed up halfway through.
Couple times.
Saw him a couple times, yeah.
Never really fully see him.
But it's more of like a suspense movie. So it's like when they're walking around trying to find him, and you find the skin that was shed, and it's like, oh, it's growing fast. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's a great movie, but it's not an action movie.
No, it is a suspense horror film set in space, which is I friggin' love those movies.
Yeah, and I don't think the pacing would have bothered me as much if I wasn't like really trying to get my daughter to watch it with me. And she was just not interested.
Yeah,
she kept looking at her phone, and I kept having
No,
to tap
no,
her.
you have to
I
watch
kept having
this.
to tap her and be like,
You
"Look,
have no idea what's going on.
yeah, look at the power dynamics between Ridley and this other guy. Aren't you entertained?"
It's the nuance.
Right.
Well, and then when it turns out the dude's a drone, fantastic turn to the movie right there. Fantastic.
Well, and it then,
Spoiler alert.
It then changes everything on rewatch, knowing that he is right, and that's the part that's really cool. Is he created the like tension between the characters and stuff. There's one point where he talks about, I think it's Yaphet, I think is the actor's actual name, but the black actor, the bigger guy, and there was one point where he directed him to continue to interrupt Ridley, so that she would get annoyed because she's trying to do her lines and he just keeps interrupting her. And as an actor, she gets irritated.
So just as a person, she was tense.
As a person, she's like, stop talking. And that's in the film. Like she actually, that tenseness and hatred towards him.
That's some
is
Kubrick shit.
Yeah, you're stepping on my shit right now. Will you please stop doing that? But it's very interesting. The art direction is really cool. He creates worlds that are just super unique. Blade Runner is a great example, but Blade Runner was a huge flop. This was not. This was a gigantic movie that has...
Yeah, this 10x box office, 10x the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the best model work outside of Star Wars, I would say.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, very similar, but...
Yeah, you could definitely tell the influence.
Yeah.
Just when the ship's like coming apart.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's straight out of Star
Yeah,
Wars.
that's straight. It's you painted it black instead of gray?
But fantastic sets.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
So, such a believable, realistic.
Yeah.
They're in space. They're stuck on this ship. Stuck on this planet now, I guess.
And the scale is what I find so impressive. And a lot of it's matte paintings and stuff, but the way that they do it, everything just feels gigantic.
Right. They come into that cavernous room. And you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah. This ship is gigantic. And then what is this? What are we doing? I don't understand what's happening.
Looks like it might be eggs.
But one of the parts that's really interesting about it, so we were listening to the commentary, and I know you caught this part as well.
About making the ship look bigger?
About making the ship look bigger. So in terms of scale, right? There's only so much you can do. There's only so if you have to shoot something practically, there's only so many techniques you can use. So in order to make certain scenes look as though the ship was bigger, as they're coming down on the elevator to get off the ship, and there's the big legs holding the ship up, they actually put kids in spacesuits and shot the kids instead of adults to make the scale
so it's
larger.
So they're
Half the size.
half-size people. So the thing goes from looking...
It's twice as
so
big.
I think he said it was 50 feet,
Yeah.
but when you make the kids
Yeah.
in the suits, which was his two children
And
and,
then
the
camera guy.
cameraman's
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
So now it goes from looking 50 feet to looking 80 feet.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you rewatch that, you're like, those are kids.
yeah, and I believe they mess with the speed of the film a little bit too as well, because your movements then would be slightly off, which is those are things that will go away. Filmmakers used to know, like, okay, we have to change it this much to make sure that the film stock coming through covers that. Those types of things will go away over time because we just will forget how to do that stuff. But it is interesting that when they're going down, you have no idea.
Right.
When they're coming back, I was like, those are kids. I was like, there's something weird about that right there. That's a little tiny person. But it's really cool when he does stuff like that. He also there's so much stuff in there that is so based on the budget, right? Whereas Jim Henson's like, no, we can totally just be underwater and have our hand up a frog's
Who
ass.
else wants to sit in a bucket?
Yeah, I'll just sit in a bucket all day. They would do little things that change the way that the film looks, but like all the ladders have this little cone essentially that sticks up off the ground a couple feet. So it looks cool. It's like, oh yeah, that's the ladder that goes between the different decks. Of course you would have a little ledge above it. Well, really what it was that they didn't have the ability to go down the ladder. That's the bottom of the stage. So they build that up. So most of the time they'd just be crouching down underneath it, like put their hand up and then stand up.
Oh, as they were going through the...
So there's tons of stuff like that in this movie that kept it on budget, but yet it doesn't look like that at all.
No.
Yeah, it's incredible. What was your take on the commentary?
It was the most informative commentary I've ever heard in my life.
Unbelievable.
He explains every decision that they made for everything.
Everything.
Every shot. He's like,
Shot for
and
shot.
this is what we did for this and why we did it, and I wanted to do it this way because of this. And it's just that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I read that Ridley Scott thinks film commentary is super important.
It's unbelievable.
Like it should have never gone away. Maybe he's still going to do it for Gladiator 2.
I hope
don't know.
so.
But he thinks it's sad that you make a movie and then you're done and it goes away.
Yeah.
He wants to continue the movie. He wants to talk about the movie and tell people about it. And the commentary gives him that outlet to go there and continue to talk about the movie and explain to people how it was shot.
How it was
found
shot.
it so important.
How it was shot, why it was shot that way, the philosophy, the emotion he's trying to convey. It's like everything.
I'm amazed at how well he does it because he doesn't go on long tirades that most people do where he gets off on a tangent and
Right.
it's like, oh, anyways, what was I talking about?
Yeah, nope. He follows it scene by scene, dude.
Scene by
And
scene.
succinct.
And succinct the whole time. The one thing, though, that is hilarious. So we were talking about the DVD commentaries later on when we get to like the 2000s when people just started dicking around. This is no joke. Ridley Scott lighting up a cigarette.
Okay. Yeah. You notice it about every
Oh,
6
God.
or 7 minutes. All of a sudden, he goes from talking normally to talking a little bit
Just got a little bit like this in here. So anyways. And then my favorite part though is you can hear him open up a new pack of cigarettes and he lights the match. No joke. I got distracted by it. I was like, what is going on? What is with his mouth? And then finally I was like, oh, he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Then I caught on when he like is lighting, he's literally like lighting one cigarette with another cigarette. The very beginning of the commentary, the Fox logo comes on. And while the Fox logo is coming on, you can hear him strike a match and light his cigarette.
Let's fucking go.
It's unbelievable. It is like, because I was going to talk about this and I was like, okay, I got to go back and get some footage. And that happened. And I was like, this is unbelievable.
That is
It
awesome.
literally is during the logo. It's like a part of the film.
Yeah.
He lights the match. You can hear it. Lights his cigarette, sets it down, and is like, all right, I'm Ridley Scott. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah. It's noticeable. It's absolutely
It's
noticeable.
so
There's-
noticeable.
yeah.
The entire time,
Yeah.
he's like one after another just smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, the first time it happened, I was like, what was that?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
sound
it.
like. And then the second time, I was like, is he smoking a cigarette? By the third time, you're like, he's smoking cigarettes for sure.
He's totally smoking cigarettes. Oh God, it was so good. I sent Scott a message. I was like, there's one thing in particular that I'm going to talk about, and I hope you pick up on it as well, because it's very obvious.
Yeah.
Because he's very clearly smoking a cigarette.
Hello, I'm Ridley Scott, and I'm going to be talking about Alien.
Super interesting to listen to him talk about everything from the cameramen to the music to how they did this, why they did that. It's everything you want in a commentary.
Right. And to talking about how he interacted with the actors and how they kind of just became like this little. They became a crew, just a crew of their own. Everybody had their ideas. You know, there was a lot of improv and stuff.
Yes.
Like and he tells you like, oh, that was a part where Bilbo decided I should do this little thing.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. The one thing I will say is that for me, this is my favorite of the Alien films. Aliens is more kind of what a lot of people's take is because they like the action of it. Most
like
people
that,
really
yeah.
like Aliens. I like this film because it's the same thing as the original Star Wars. They don't tell you anything. You're just left to figure out as you're watching it and consume it. It is super interesting to me now going back and listening to this commentary. And this commentary is from 1999. It's the 20th anniversary.
okay.
So it's 25 years ago now. But he's talking about things in the film.
How does that work?
This was the 20th anniversary in 1999.
Oh, 25 years ago from now.
25 years ago
20
from
years
now.
I'm with you now.
Yeah. 45 years ago from the film
Yeah.
to now. Anyways, he's talking about things that later happen in the Alien series that I don't like because I'm like, that's dumb. But it was all in the original planning. Like the Animorph becoming human, like a humanoid because it attaches to a human. That is a part of the lore that he had in the initial concept of this that later on becomes like a thing. And I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But it was a part of it. You know,
Maybe it was just executed poorly.
Potentially, but he talks about so many things that are so cool. The corporations taking over the world type of thing, essentially, and how cold that would become. But I think that my favorite part of the film is like, so they're wearing like a Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, okay, they like Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. No, in his mind, they went and they did their work, and then they've been traveling back, and every once in a while you'd stop at a place.
Right.
like it's a truck stop.
Yeah.
You get your little trinkets and your Hawaiian shirts. And
So the ship is full of trinkets that he has decided they have picked up on the way back.
Fantastic.
And specifically has characters that he believes are bringing things back to their children.
Right.
It's crazy. Like that type of detail in something that you never then address.
Right.
The little bird that's tipping its head down, you know, like you never even think to address it. You're just like, oh, that's just a thing.
That's
a little
the thing
weird.
they have.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
he
a
wears
little weird.
Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, there's a fucking backstory
There's
to
a whole
everything.
Their
Yeah.
job's been done for years. They're just on vacation.
The backstory of the shirt is he probably didn't wear a Hawaiian shirt, but you've been gone for so long that you get homesick, and the thing you can purchase is a Hawaiian shirt. It's just crazy. It's very well done. So
Yeah.
anything from the film that you really liked, like special effect or anything?
Yes. Final explosion when the spaceship blows itself up.
Yes.
I read up on it. So I'm like, I wonder how they did this. It was
Yeah.
1979.
Yep.
It's not CGI. I
Yep.
mean, it looked like an explosion. It was an explosion of a miniature model that they set up charges in multiple areas, and he shot it with like 7 or 11, like a bunch of different cameras to just catch every detonation, every explosion, and come back. And it was just a live shot. It was a real explosion that looked like an
Interesting.
actual spaceship exploding.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Well, and then the waves that are coming out, that's all matte painting, which
Yep.
is crazy. It does not look like a painting at all. The skill of people painting things 45 years ago, incredible. I'm sure people can still do it today, but like you made it look like there were waves of light coming at me by just painting. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's another thing I read about Ridley Scott is to save on budgets,
Yep.
like with the explosions or the real expensive scenes to shoot, he just does more cameras.
Yeah.
Just put more cameras to catch more angles of the action. So that way you'll get something you need after one take or two, and you don't have to do it 4 times. Because we can't blow up 4 General Lees. We don't have the money for it.
Eventually we'll run out. Yeah, I was really surprised to find out that he started off as a cameraman. So most of the stuff that you see, like he does a lot of the camera stuff himself. He's riding on the dollies and stuff with strobe lights in front of him to, you know, put in. And it's funny that you don't think about, but one of the things we want to talk about when we do these series is how that then affects things going forward, and how many times have you re-seen the self-destruct sequence, right? How many times have you just seen a strobe light strobing? He's like, nobody was doing that. The strobe light is me. I did the strobe light.
I was a little upset. I hadn't watched the movie in a long time. A little upset at the self-destruct sequence because since when do you get locked out with 5 minutes to go?
When your movie has been really slow to get started.
Usually you stop the self-destruct 2 seconds before it self-destructs. If Ripley would have had 2 more seconds, she probably would have stopped the self-destruct sequence. She had 5 more minutes, but it had her locked out. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Because you have to be able to escape.
Yes.
You have to be
Yeah.
given.
You
You have
have
to be
5
given
minutes
that chance.
To get out of there.
This is a corporation.
Yeah.
They own the ship.
We don't want to have to pay off families. We gave them fair warning.
Plenty of 5 minutes is plenty of time to get back to this ship. What do you got,
When
Nate?
you activate the self-destruct button.
Yeah.
Why do we have that? We're truckers.
It is true. It is true.
Where are we going?
Why do we need to explode?
And not only that, but like you want to go back to the corporation. The corporation's like, no, blow up yourself. Don't blow up the cargo. You're bringing back material. We don't want it all scattered back across the universe. It is kind of cool though. I really liked that. I think that as the movie goes and you get into the heart of the ship and stuff, that was the stuff I liked the most. Was there is just a quick shot of the engine room and like how big the engines were for that, and they used a miniature for that. But they would always do that little thing where they'd put a little screen in there and replay the film of an actor inside there to give you the look and feel that somebody's inside the, and it always looks really crisp
like the
and
shot
good.
from outside the ship, and you can see the little window
Yeah.
up top, and you just see the little tiny
Just
person
the
walk
little
by, and you're
tiny
like, oh
person.
shit, this thing's huge.
yeah. Super effective stuff. I liked the self-destruct sequence because she has to like put together a puzzle, which is what you would do for a self-destruct thing. It would be like, we don't really want you to do this. So first of all, you have to solve this Rubik's Cube.
This 6-minute puzzle.
Taking off cylinders, putting cylinders on. But it does make a reference to the cooling unit, right? So it's basically saying this ship is being run by nuclear reactors and we're letting the nuclear reactor go. So that's kind of cool. I did find, so right after that happens is my all-time favorite part of this entire movie. And
when she gets down into her skivvies.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I wasn't going to say that, but you have shifted my mind and my eyes gaze. He talks about that in the thing where they're like, oh, we need a little bit of sex at the end. So let's just get her naked. Smallest underwear in the history of the world. I was watching it with Callie, and I go, there's something about these little tiny 1979 panties that I've always liked. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, the scene's coming up. We'll watch it. And then it comes and it's like, just barely over top of her vag. Just barely. But then she turns around and like half of her ass is
her
covered.
ass is all
and Callie just goes, completely impractical. You can't wear those. So, but no, right after the self-destruct sequence happens, she's running back through the corridor, and it takes a long time. Like they actually take their time getting back there. But there's one shot where, as she comes around the corner, there's like this almost like a saloon door looking thing that like flaps open. And I remembered this from before, but I was so glad rewatching the commentary because he talks about it specifically. This little like door swings, but what it was, there was a light shining directly at the camera, and there's just a guy standing there with a piece of cardboard trying to block the light. So when you watch it, like as it goes, you're just like, oh, there's just a thing. But really, if you watch it like knowing this is the case, there's a dude standing there like trying to block the light as she goes by, and you could totally see the guy standing right there. And he left it in the film because he's like, whatever. Because you're not going to know it until you like actually see it. It's pretty cool though. I love things like that in movies where, you know, it's a screw up, but it's not.
But we're making a movie.
We're making a movie. We're making a movie. Just like with the corridors and everything, everything's white at the beginning. And then he just got bored by the end of the movie, so he had everything spray painted black.
Yeah, it was all dark.
Yep. So it works so well because he's like, it needs to be more foreboding now, you know. But the idea of just taking what we have, and so it'd be like us here spraying this stuff black. It's black now.
Yeah.
It doesn't become white again.
Yeah, we're not reshooting the opening sequence. We aren't waking up.
We have moved on. We have moved on in this filmmaking process. So, I will finish this one up super fast and move on to the Warriors. But my two favorite things in terms of what they did for the special effects, the usage of actual like meats and things, very cool. The Nottingham lace, which is inside the egg when it opens up, you've got actual meat that he would have brought every day. And then they'd get this, what's called Nottingham lace, which is the inside of a stomach. There's like this fatty lace that you can purchase. I don't know what you're cooking with that, but it's what do you cook with that? Do you know?
Haggis?
Probably gross.
Like sheep's gut.
But it's just like, it's like a net made. It's like a organic net.
The meat net.
But he just laid that over top of it. It just has such a cool look to it. The tail of the hugger when it shoots out is just intestines that he just blew with an air hose. Just shot the air hose of intestines which is also awesome. And then when they're dissecting the hugger, they're kind of picking at it with the forceps or whatever. They just went and got fresh clams and oysters and just laid them in there. And so it's legit.
Looks like it.
Yeah. But
it's total organic matter. Like, well, what is this?
What is this? And then as you're watching it in the film, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And that type of stuff I love, when you can just come up with clever uses for things and just have it be so effective in the film. So, final take.
Fabulous movie.
Love it.
Go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, going from a film that Gabe says, go watch, to going to a film that Gabe says, what are you doing watching this film? 1979, ladies and gentlemen, is The Warriors.
These are the armies of the night. The Furies, the Boppers, the Hi-Hats, the Lizzies, the Turnbull ACs, the Gramercy Riffs, and these are the Warriors.
You know, the beginning of the movie, it's in New York City.
Yes.
And they have all of these gangs. There's a lot of gangs.
Yeah, a lot of
There's like
gangs.
60,000 strong, I hear.
Yeah.
And they're all going into the subway and descending upon this one area
In the Bronx.
Cleavon, what's his name?
Come on, man. Cyrus.
Right, Trailer Park Boys, Cyrus.
Cletus. That's pretty close. I know a lot of people that look like that named Cletus.
So Cyrus the Rock Johnson.
A little bit.
Trying to get all of the gangs together. And all the gangs are running there. And it's like, oh, this is exciting. Look at all these gangs. That looks like the Yakuza. And here's the Warrior. Oh, look, it's the Mime Gang. And my disappointment in the movie is that the mimes never showed up again.
Yeah?
They should have played a bigger role.
Yeah?
The Mime Gang probably has some serious action they could get into.
They don't got a lot to say, though.
And they put him in a box.
Put the Warriors in a box. Film over. They're trapped. This is a film that I absolutely love. And I love it for a couple of reasons, because we've talked about it. My favorite time frame in history, there's 3 of them. I love Victoria, England. I love like the Middle Ages, which I heard a great new theory that the Middle Ages never happened. Like there's 300 years in human history that they think that the church just made up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that idea.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's a good one.
I hope that's real. Anyways. But then New York, late 70s, early 80s. This is peak New York as a shithole.
Yeah.
It is. And it is what I love about this film. The idea of a group of guys that never leave their turf. That's just where they are.
In an amusement park.
Which is, it's great.
They're the amusement park gang, the Warriors.
Well, it is kind of funny. It's like you'd think the mimes would be at the amusement park. There's so many other gangs that would have been at the amusement park, not the Warriors. But the idea that they never travel out, they're just a close-knit group of young guys
who hate each other and fight the whole time.
Well, you would have that, right? You're a bunch of thugs.
Mm-hmm.
But they travel 50, maybe 100 miles
other side of the city
to the Bronx.
Yeah.
From Coney Island. And then just this notion of having to fight your way back through gritty, dirty New York in the middle of the night.
When everyone else is after you.
But even just the scenes where there's like other people that are out at night.
Which was almost nobody.
Which is the way to do it, right? But I wouldn't want to be in New York at night trying to get on the subway.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do that. And so I think there's a sense of danger and tension just to that alone that I like about this film.
I absolutely love the sets, love the setting, you know, the grimy, scary New York of the late 70s, early 80s. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Appreciated every set, every locale. It was just the storyline and the acting.
I'll hand it to you on the acting, not the greatest. There's a couple of the Warriors in particular that it's like, don't ever let him speak again.
Yeah.
But I love also the music in this film. I'm a big fan of that style of music in films, which I want to bring up because as we move forward and we get into your Michael Mann stuff and Miami Vice, but more so the movie Thief and things like that. There's just this type of music that I really like in this time frame of films. John Carpenter uses a lot of that in his films. And it brings about this kind of sense of eeriness as well to the place and setting.
I learned that Joe Walsh wrote In the City for this film.
I was going to say, Gabe, that is my fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Not only did he write it, it ends with that song.
It's a great song, great ending.
Gabe, there is a song and dance at the end of the film. It is perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I also appreciated the radio DJ. Like there's this underground radio station all the gangs are listening to. It almost had that super sounds of the 70s type vibe to it that Tarantino used in Reservoir Dogs.
It's definitely reused many times in films.
And that's fun. There was a lot of good things about the movie, but the movie itself.
Scott, your take.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. It's not the best movie
the
ever
zombie
made.
Joe DiMaggio's. I mean, some of these gangs are really fucking stupid.
Well, no, you're going with that, and you're not even talking about the guy that just shows up on roller skates.
And overall.
The overall roller skate gang in the subway, down the stairs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I just thought you'd like the zombie Joe DiMaggio gang because they were the furries.
They're the baseball furies.
Oh, only one hour.
So I actually bought the book for this in preparation as well. So it is based on a book from the 60s. It is
a book or a graphic novel?
It is a book. Okay. So that is interesting. So this is a take on a tale that is the basic concept of it comes from Greece. It is about a set of warriors that their philosophy was, if we get back to the ocean, we know we're fine, and fighting their way back. Mm-hmm. That's the basic concept.
Right, and then they got back to the ocean and almost died.
It's a Greek tale. In the 60s, a guy takes it and says, like, hey, there's all these delinquents that are running around having gangs and stuff. And it's more so, like, it's more kids than I would say this feels. Mm-hmm. Like that, they have like a truancy officer and stuff. There's no truancy officers in this take.
No, the cops just want to arrest them all for having committed no crime.
Yeah, always. For gathering.
You have a shirt
listening to Cyrus talk.
I thought that was well, Cyrus gets shot before the cops actually show up.
No, the cops are out there waiting.
The lights off.
The cops pull up with all their lights off, and they're just waiting at this gathering, and then somebody dies, and then they go arrest everybody.
Well, yeah, that's what you would do. But it is interesting that this is like a take on a take on a take, right? Mm-hmm. And this, I was not aware that this is supposed to be very comic booky, very graphic novel-y. I was never aware of that until I watched the director's cut.
Yes.
So let's talk about that really fast.
Okay.
This is a film that I love. Mm-hmm. The director's cut starts with a guy who directed it, and he shall remain nameless now because he's dead to me. And he talks about how he doesn't like director's cuts and he doesn't like commentaries. He thinks all that stuff is stupid.
Yep.
So instead, he has now made a director's cut of this film because it is the definitive version of his film, and it is what he wishes that they would have made to begin with. And then he adds
4 things
that are
he turns the shot transition to make it look kind of comic booky,
yes.
And you move from one panel to the next, and the scene moves on.
Yes.
And he does that like 4 times in the movie, and that's the change.
I believe the director's cut is 2005, and this is the most 2005 thing ever. The motion graphic novels was like a huge thing.
That was.
Yep.
And
this is your Sin City, your V for Vendettas, Watchmen. Was Watchmen out yet?
Watchmen, but there was like online and stuff. They would have comic books, but it would just move from panel to panel. Like this concept was huge in 2005. You telling me that the definitive version of your film from 1979 is to add shitty transitions that 100% ruin the mood of the film.
They completely just grind everything to a halt. Whatever transition you had to just like, I mean, it's an action-packed and fast-paced movie. You're going here to here to here to here. Watch out for these guys. Boom. Now it's like we're going here to here. Oh, hold on.
Hold on. Slow down.
Now we're gonna go over here. And see
hold
what
on.
this
I got to get Photoshop.
Right, and there's no
first.
transition like that in the entire film because it's them trying to get from the Bronx back to Coney Island. It's nonstop running.
It is. So I got the director's cut thinking, oh, cool. I've never seen the director's cut. It'll be interesting to see what he added. And then that thing comes on at the beginning. I was like, well, that was a little pretentious. And then like it's right away. Like it happens, I believe, with the Wonder Wheel, doesn't it? Or
Probably.
He fucks up the beginning, the very beginning of the film, which is what I love so much. That shot, them talking about, I hear Cyrus is a bad dude. Nothing but terrible acting. You're completely prepared, Gabe, for the rest of the movie at that point.
Yeah.
And then I can't believe that a man that made a movie that I really enjoy can be so shitty at making his own product.
And it's like I get it. I get the idea that you want it to come across as more comic booky.
Yes.
But you got to do more than just a couple of transitions and say, this was my original vision. To add 25 seconds of...
it was bad.
Not even footage?
It's terribly bad.
And I'll say, the thing that pissed me off the most was I put that DVD in, and it had like your options, play the movie, scene selection, and then there was like the foreword.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, I'll watch the foreword and see what he has to say. And then he says all that bullshit. And you're like, okay,
and then
whatever.
You watch the movie.
And then you go press play on the movie, and it does it again. And I have to watch it again. Fuck off.
You and I are the same person, because I had the same response. I was like, of course I want to watch the forward. I would love to watch the forward and hear what he has to say.
You gave me the option. I chose it. Why are you forcing it on me?
And I watched it and was like, well, that was kind of dumb. Yeah. And then like, let's just watch the movie. And then I pushed the movie and I was like, well, why did you ask?
Yeah.
Why is that even an option? So there is no option. Why am I getting an option?
I'm going to do it. If you're going to make me do it anyways, don't isolate it so I can be like, oh, I really want to watch that again. That part.
Just that part. That was so important.
Really love how passionate he was about changing the movie for the worse.
It was like he literally is just being a dick about the whole concept and feels miserable about doing it.
Maybe that was the point.
And maybe it was the point. So this movie is very well known for the Warriors come out
and play.
I
fucking hate that guy.
You the guy in general or
terrible acting.
Okay.
The acting.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
God awful. Even at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he gets hit with the knife, and then he's just like, no. He sounds like Ric Flair.
In the arm. No.
He is the Ric Flair of this movie. I never thought about that. He's totally Ric Flair. No!
Yeah. Ow, it hurt. Yeah.
It was the Warriors.
Yeah, he's just a whiny little bitch.
Such a whiny little bitch.
Really,
and bad at it.
He's not great at it. He's not great at it.
Do you remember when the Los Angeles Lakers were winning NBA titles like 2001, 2002, 2003? Sure. Did you ever watch like their parades?
I did.
And like the players would all like talk and give a speech about their season and about their championship. Shaq always took the microphone.
And you were like, take it away from him?
No. He always started off with, "Can you dig it?" So when I'm watching this, did he steal that from Cletus?
Yes. His name is Cyrus, goddammit. The whole film is about how Cyrus has been killed.
Cyrus is in the Trailer Park Boys. Cletus is in the Warriors.
Okay. I love it. It's one of my favorite films. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite film because I think it is an incredible film. It is my favorite film because I just love to put it on and just watch it and enjoy it. I do think it is interesting, like you say, like the baseball Furies and all that stuff. They're supposed to be comic booky. I think it just comes across kind of silly, but like in a I guess that's what this movie is type of thing.
I could see this movie being like completely reshot.
Yes.
To add comic bookiness to it.
Yeah.
And make it good.
Right. Yeah. I could see somebody remaking this movie and making it watchable.
Well, to speak
But I don't think you could redo the 70s New York without spending a lot of money on sets where you were able to just go in the subway and that's what it was.
This is crazy.
Give it 2 years. AI will have it under control.
Well,
true.
You look at Coney Island, like, oh my God, people went there? Like people went to this place on purpose? Like it is
fun.
Well, so that the part where he does the Warriors come out to play the bottles on his hand were just bottles laying around. Like this place is just a shithole. And he just picked up bottles.
They weren't broken yet.
He literally picked up bottles off the ground and just started clanking them together because the director's like, do something menacing. Cool. Well, yeah, he's
I like the bottles.
I do like that. And that was all improvised. The director just said, I want you to just do something menacing. And that's what he came up with.
That was menacing.
It was menacing from his big, giant old hearse. But you say it should get remade.
Scott said he could see it getting remade.
Technically, it did get remade.
As a video game?
In 2005, the same time that the director's cut comes out. Rockstar Games.
It was Rockstar.
It was Rockstar. So Rockstar Toronto made it, and then it was produced by Rockstar Games. Released The Warriors on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And it is a beat 'em up that I will say this. The opening sequence that I love so much, they redid the opening sequence like shot for shot.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool. It's actually pretty well done. But it leads, like that influence is felt directly in the intro to Vice City that I love.
Sure.
One of that song, the way it's plays through with all the little shots of things, you can feel the influence of this movie in that sequence in Vice City. So this movie has a great impact on society moving forward, even if Gabe doesn't like it.
Yeah, no, Shaq used the line.
Yeah. The game is great.
When you said Rockstar Games, I'm like, wow, that must have been a great game, but it's just a beat 'em up. It's not like an open universe travel around dingy New York. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think it got pretty good ratings.
It got pretty good ratings.
I mean, it's a Rockstar game.
It's beloved. I actually looked it up. I think it has like an 8.8 as its rating. And having played it, it's not an 8.8, but it's a completely acceptable version of the movie it's an enjoyable little romp. You got your guy with the spray paint. I think that's maybe my favorite part of the whole movie. They're like, make sure you hit everything on the way back.
You got the stuff. I want you to hit everything in sight. I want everybody to know the Warriors were there.
Yeah, one gravestone.
He gets one, and goddamn, does he tag that thing? Just the shittiest W.
No artistic flair whatsoever.
And his name is Rembrandt. So of the whole movie, I think I enjoyed that the most. He's like, make sure you hit everything. And then you watch him and he's like, oh, Jesus, Rembrandt? Let's see what happens here.
Yeah. It takes forever.
Make it out halfway through. All right.
Guys, wait up.
Yeah. We can be done.
I'm done drawing my W.
Yeah, everyone clearly
I'm
knows.
on line 3. I still got 1 to go.
Everyone clearly knows 100 miles away that this is the Warriors. I'll just end with that. In the movie, they say it's got to be like 50 to 100 miles away. It's 24 miles. So, which is to them probably would have felt, like I think 100 miles away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 24 miles on its own. This feels like 100 miles when everybody's after you.
Yes. Especially in dirty, dirty New York.
But they're not smart enough to know everybody's after them. They try to become buddies with the orphans. They go into the I forget the female gang's house. They go in there.
They don't know until they almost get killed by the Lizzies.
Yeah, the Lizzies. That's what set him off. And then they were kind of suspicious about the guy on roller skates in the subway downstairs.
They weren't suspicious. They're like, something's weird in here with all these girls. Why are all these girls being weird?
Only Rembrandt. Everybody else was trying to get some.
Well, Rembrandt's got a good nose for those things, but then didn't catch on to the fact that they're trying to kill you.
They're loaded.
He was just more like, these bitches want me. What's happening here? Rembrandt, don't you know? All right, we can move on and finish this episode up. Let's go. Hot take on 1979.
Hot take?
Yeah.
I don't have those.
Okay, well, that was dumb. Gabe?
The 4 we watched were all fantastic.
Yeah.
Good movies.
It's a good...
I mean, The Warriors isn't a good movie, but there are good things about it. Worth watching.
I think
you won't enjoy it.
The Warriors is a perfect example of where film is at that point. It really is. Like, this is not about just consuming the high-end products. This is about, like, where are we in 1979?
Where were mistakes made?
Where are we in 1979 as film, and where does it have its impacts? I will tell you this. Warriors will come up as we continue forward through the early 80s for sure, because it is felt. It does have a lasting impact. If Tarantino is not directly influenced by this film and some of the decisions he made, specifically with, what's the comedian's name that does the voice? Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
If that is not directly inspired by this, All right, that's 1979, folks. I actually really enjoyed 1979. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's the most movies I've watched for a year so far.
Okay, cool.
I watched The Warriors and Alien multiple times.
Yeah.
The Muppets multiple times.
Yeah.
Life of Brian I only watched once, but
Yeah. It is interesting. I did the exact same thing.
It's the first time I've watched all of the movies we talked about.
for this particularly. Yes. Yeah. It's the first time you've actually done your work. So I appreciate you. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for showing up prepared. All right, folks, we are out of here. We got to do a draft next episode, so let's go ahead and get that figured out. We don't have to do it right now.
Best gangs from the Warriors.
Oh man. Or gangs that should have been in the Warriors. Yeah. And then following that, we'll have the news, and then we'll have a game. We actually have a guest that will be coming on for the game in a couple of weeks, Isaiah Mogensen. You guys may know him from a local podcast, Listen Local. So that I was on a couple weeks ago talking about some stuff, and then I said, you know what? Let's get you scheduled on ours. So he will be a new guest that will be coming on. We've got a game that is set up for that. And then we're right on to 1980, folks. I'd say it's a new decade, but everyone that listens know it's not a new decade. It's just a new number on the calendar. But I think 1980 is where we really start to get humming a little bit. Mm-hmm. Specifically with
Hell yeah.
And with that, we're done. Do you guys have any movies you want to watch for 1980?
I haven't looked.
I mean, I'm definitely going to watch Airplane.
Oh yeah, we can't, I mean, in terms of creating things for movies, moving forward.
Shining's out.
Yeah, we got to talk Shining.
Caddyshack. I've never seen Caddyshack.
You've never seen Caddyshack?
I've never seen Caddyshack.
Oh.
I was surprised. So we did a post on Caddyshack for it was the 45th anniversary, and it really didn't get that much play. I was surprised by that. I would have thought that people would have went nuts for it. I mean, you guys are missing it right away. Smokey and the Bandit too.
Right.
I mean,
Blues Brothers, Raging Bull.
We're for sure going to do Blues Brothers. Because I've never watched Blues Brothers not on television, and I don't think I've ever even seen the full movie from start to finish. But even like Star Wars,
Empire
Strikes Back, Superman 2.
You got Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, yeah. We're going to have...
Metascore 22.
So I only want to do 3 or 4 films, so we're going to have to pick through them. So I think what we'll do is each one of us will pick a film, and then let's see if we can't get our listeners to pick one for us as well.
Perfect.
So pick a film.
Oh, The Gods Must Be Crazy. Absolutely fantastic.
Do me a favor, okay? Make it worth watching.
Scott.
No, I like The Gods Must Be Crazy. I'm not talking about that particularly. I'm talking about fucking The Last Waltz. So far, you and I are batting back and forth here. The Last Waltz.
I didn't even know you were including The Last Waltz. I was not even prepared to talk about it.
It was terrible.
I watched it because it's fantastic, but I didn't prepare to talk about it.
Yeah, but how could you say you didn't prepare to talk about it? Because every time I bring up what movies we're going to watch, you go, I've got to talk about The Last Waltz. You literally said that in the text message. I don't think I can get through without talking about The Last Waltz.
It's called a bit. It's called a bit. I stick to it.
Okay, all right.